and welcome. Welcome to Unity Northwest Church. It is wonderful to welcome this sort of early summer day, and it's great to see all of you here. I've been seeing the names pop up over in the chat. Welcome back. Last week you were with Unity of Ames, and this week we are back at home. It is Sunday, May 2nd. I know I say this all the time, but man, the year's flying by. It seems like we just got into this year and we wondered what it was going to be like. And now we have vaccines and things are opening up again. And it's amazing. It's wonderful to have kind of this new spring awakening in so many ways, for us to be getting out again, for the weather to be changing in this part of the world. So you have chosen a fantastic week to be with us to celebrate. And today what we are doing is we're asking questions. Rather, you are asking questions. So at any point during the service here today, as we're live, ask me a question. Pop it over in the chat box. And as the sermon today, I'm going to address whatever it is that you want to know about unity, about religion, about the world in general. Whatever it is that you'd like to ask, go ahead and ask it, and I will give it my best shot. And if it's something I don't know about, we'll say, let's find out about it later. So think about that as we go through the next few minutes, and especially perhaps in the meditation. What is it that comes to you that says, you know, I've always kind of wanted to know a little more about this, or that's kind of always bothered me, or when people say this, I don't know what that means, or here's something that I'm working on in my life. This is a wonderful chance for you to get the Sunday that you most want, because you have the questions, and again, I'll do my best to do the answers, or at least raise another question for you. Welcome. If you're new, if you've been with us many times, in any case, whether you're watching now or whether you're watching sometime in the future, thank you for making your way to Unity Northwest. Let this be the service that makes you connect deeper with the truth that's within you. That's what we do here at Unity Northwest. We go within to touch deep into the ground of our being. We call that God, call that divine spirit. We come to touch into that and go deeper to bring that out into the world, more of heaven on earth. And speaking of a little heaven on earth, let me welcome... Right. Now, was that a transition or what?
Well, yes, I'm up in the clouds.
Actually, this is true. So a little heaven on earth. Chris is bringing some heaven down to us. Welcome, Chris, is our platform assistant today.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Wonderful to have you. And tell us once again about the picture that we are looking at there.
Just another shot that I took from an airplane flying by. I was actually traveling this week, but didn't have any good new stuff. But hopefully I'll get some new stuff into the mix as well.
Okay, great. Well, good to have you with us. Let's see, what am I seeing? No echo. The problem was on this end. Okay, we were having a little bit of technical issues with some folks, but it sounds like we're doing okay. All right, so let's go ahead and open our service then. Chris is here to help me with prayer and our invocation and our daily word as we begin. And so let us start once again with prayer. As I settle myself in, I release any cares of the day and focus completely, as much as I can here, on spirit, on God, on love. And I watch that change happen in me, that when I turn my attention towards what it is that I am seeking, that I want to know more of, love, peace, healing, I find it immediately in me. In me resides everything that I need in consciousness in this moment. I expand and I accept. This is my truth. I am a divine being of God. I am whole. I am perfect. I am living the life that I came to live. Right here. Not a moment behind or a moment in front. Right now. I welcome the divine that is everywhere and in me. And we let this time together in this Sunday service be a connection to everyone here, to those in our church family, to those throughout the world celebrating here on Sunday and in whatever ways they celebrate the divine. We are all one, seeking, knowing, and coming from the same divine source. We bless our service, and so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. And then I bring back Chris to share our invocation with us.
All right. And using the words of Charles Fillmore, let's express our faith with the words of the invocation.
And I'm a bit behind today, Chris.
It's okay. You know, I should have this memorized. All right. Well, let's give that a try. I'm now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my human limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. All right. And the daily word for today is grace. The grace of God is alive within me. I don't need to do anything to earn or deserve the grace of God because it's already present, mine to claim in any situation. Grace dawns in my awareness as soon as I move beyond the limits of my human understanding. I let go and let peace, love, wisdom, and the strength of God fill me, lift me, and guide me. In both the challenging and the ordinary moments of life, the grace I give and the grace I receive keep the awareness of God in my heart. During a tough conversation, a thought comes to mind that helps reestablish harmony. And as I mull an important decision, a fresh insight clarifies my thinking. Feeling overwhelmed by my to-do list, I feel renewed energy and move forward with strength and enthusiasm. In these moments and more, I discover grace anew. And the Bible verse is, from his fullness, we have all received grace upon grace. And that's John 1:16. And there we go.
Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And we will see you a little bit later. And now is the time when we get to greet each other. And if you haven't already had a chance to pop into the chat section, please go ahead and do that. We would love to hear from you, or you can hit the like button up at the top of your screen, I think it is, to let us know that you are engaged and with us, and this is our meet and greet time. So let me go ahead and flash forward here. And with some screen magic, we get to actually greet each other this morning. Chris Selvik sends his good morning, and Karen Kramer and the puppies say good morning. Jeanette is here, wonderful. Oh, Pat McRoberts, she's got some music going on for us. Oh, what a beautiful morning. You got it. Hi, Anita, great to see you. Cindy Florsheim, wonderful. Ruth and Dallas, happy spring day. They've got a new photo. You think I don't pay attention, but I do. Hal, the whole gang is there. We've got Kat and Hal and Jeanette. Great to see you. The Bostons figured out how to get in. I don't know what happened. I'm glad that something flipped over. We've got a number of folks on, so who knows what happened. The magic of technology sometimes. Carolyn, Chris. Carolyn had a boy with Gemma in Sunday school. Thank you for being there for those kids. That makes such a big difference. Jeanette's echo, I hope it went away. Yes, that's right. Good morning. All right, I have got one question so far. I also need to check on my texts to see if anybody texted me or emailed me. I didn't check that yet because I want to keep my answers fresh and I don't want to read the questions ahead of time if I can avoid it at all. All right, continuing. Good mornings. Hi, other Jeanette. It's great to see you. Good morning, Isabel, Don, Ron. The Bostons are, and they had trouble getting in too, but they're back. All right. So I think we have everybody here. Good morning. And whoever continues to join, and all of those who are watching without commenting, hello to you too. And hello to those of you watching in the future. And now we are going to enter into meditation with all of that fabulous energy from all of the friends, the family that we call our church family. Let us now enter into a sacred time together, meditating as one. Individual lights all around this area and perhaps around the world, the country, in the future. Going past time, I now enter into meditation, a time of spiritual reflection and peace. I'm fully present in my body right now. I'm grateful for the feet that touch the ground. I'm grateful for all of the organs in my body, constantly at work. And I relax and let my body hold me. Gently closing my eyes, loosening the jaw, relaxing the face, the hands. In this receptive state, I can notice all that is here with no effort. I receive so much benefit with no effort, simply by living. I breathe into this moment. I breathe in love. I breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Breathe out peace. Love. Peace. Love. Peace. Resting in the silence. In this sacred time together, our energy is joined. We support each other in this way. I am lifted up, and I strengthen this awareness, this part of my consciousness. I bring into more focused awareness that this is the essence of me. Behind the busyness and the doing, every time that I tap into this deeper self, I strengthen it, I bring it forth in a greater way. I contribute to the healing of the planet, myself, my family. Let me be glad in this moment. Let me be glad for these past few minutes to be. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. And amen. It's time to ask your questions, so keep going. I have a number of questions already from texts and from email, and I've got one here on the chat this morning. So let's dive in, and whatever comes up as I go along, if something new pops in your mind that you'd like to ask about, type it in the chat box. I will do my best to get to all of them today, folks. That's always my challenge. I like to get to everybody's questions. So I'm going to start with the one that popped up first here about can two religions be right? Can two religions be right? If I were in the church, I would love to throw this back to you, and I'm going to do that actually. Go ahead and type your answers in the chat box, what your opinions are, let's say. Simple question. If you want to answer just a simple yes and no, you can. Do you think that more than one religion can be right? Pop it in. This is a question that can definitely, I don't want to say divide, but show a distinction between religions. The answer to this question: is your religion the only correct religion, or is it more a matter of preference, that this is the one that works for me and this is the one that works for you? So I see a lot of folks already popping up here. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That there can be more than one religion, more than one right religion. Absolutely. I mean, that is what unity has been founded on. Unity started out as a prayer movement for anybody. There's never been a requirement for membership, and there's really never been, you must believe this way to be here. This is different than other religions. So the question that is being asked depends on where it's being asked. So think about your background. Did you grow up with the message, there's only one right religion? I did. I grew up with that message that everyone outside of my religion was going to hell. I don't know if you grew up with that message or something like it. My mom tells the story that down the street was a different church from hers. And on Sundays, they would preach, don't hang out with those Methodists, they're going to hell. That would be a Sunday service. Can you imagine me getting up here and saying that to you? Don't hang out with those Unitarians. They're going to hell. No. And many religions, probably most religions, honor the different paths that people take. In this country, and in others, but in this country, there is fundamentalist, traditionalist Christian movements, denominations that do feel that there's only one right way. And of course, guess which way it is? Their way. That works for them. I've been told that I believe in the wrong God and that I'm going to hell by any number of people, and maybe you have too. So again, the question and the answer totally depends on the person. So let's just say half the country thinks that their religion is right and the other half thinks that they're all right. Obviously, we can't all be right. No one's ever going to know. So I like to look at what seems healthiest. What is in a biological sense, most adaptive, or what's maladaptive? Is it healthier for us to be able to hold space for differences, or must we cut people off and be exclusionary? I heard a great quote. I don't know who said it. The problem is not with religion. The problem is with the exclusivity of religion. Just this week, as I was off on vacation, someone said to me, "Oh, I'm just so sick of all these religions. Just want to toss them all out." And I said, "Please don't toss my religion out with that one until you know more about it." We all get lumped together. You know, one minister wants to buy a jet for $1 billion and all ministers are greedy. You know, one church isn't following the mask mandate, so churches are nuts. No, there is an incredible diversity among churches. So if you're in a denomination, you're in a religion that is telling you that there's only one right way, then you need to make that choice about whether that religion feels right to you. And then go within. Here's the answer, basically, to almost every question you're going to ask today is also go within. That's not the only place to go, but go within. Check it out. Now, because of our programming, we may not be able to do that sometimes. So then look to people that you respect. Intellectually, emotionally, people that are out there doing good things in the world, people whose energy aligns with you. When I look at someone like the Dalai Lama, who says his religion is kindness, just the picture of the man makes me happy. And I think, yeah, that feels good. And then if I look at a televangelist sweating, talking about going to hell and how all these things are wrong, I think, is that the energy that I want? Is that what I think a loving God is about? So go within. Check within. Can there be more than one? Well, there already are. So there you go. And I see people here, commenting that you grew up with that message. Absolutely. Grew up with that. I never really bought into it. Same here. As a child, I didn't know there were other beliefs. In my opinion, most religions do a better job of building walls instead of bridges between God and man. Wow, that's powerful, Patricia. Thank you. Yes, I like to say, one of my professors in seminary said, unity has more of a light fence around it. Like, come on in, come on out, climb under, climb around, not a wall that you're in and that you're out. That is part of the fundamental statement of unity, is that we honor all paths to God. So you know darn clear where you are. Okay. Most major religions have a common focus on loving each other. Absolutely, yes. And Marilyn, I try to see the similarities. They can blend. Religions have rules, yes. So thanks for all those insight, folks. Yes, depends on how we grew up. And again, if you grew up with a message of fear, if you don't get this right, you're going to suffer forever, this could be a hard one to get past. So it's good to look at it and know that. All right, let me read another question that I got from somebody online. And this is a good one. They're all good. How do we show our best self to ourselves? I'm not being funny. If I do and be the best I know to do, what happens when I see no growth? If anybody has identified with that, raise your hand, put your hand on your heart, send it out to this person. Yeah, I feel I'm not seeing anything. How do I give my best self to all? If I see what others are doing and I see it in me, how do I pull myself back from the edge? Where do I go to work with myself? All of us need some help, and some of us feel that we have it all. Help me to be the best me that I can be. Thank you for the question. Help me be the best me that I can be. I also hear in your question sort of, am I doing enough? I'm I'm doing all of these things. I know that I want to be the best me. And what I'm seeing isn't lining up somewhere. Like I feel that I'm not doing it like other people, or here's my favorite, I should be farther along by now. I thought this would be easier by now. You know, most of us don't think, oh, I'm going to just, suddenly be fully enlightened forever. I know that that's probably pretty silly, but there's still an expectation that will be at some level. Maybe you've been at this 30 years and some things go great and some things don't. And you think, shouldn't those things that weren't going well have been wrapped up in what I'm doing already? Why? There's still challenges. And I call those the life issues. Those are life issues. There are things that we deal with for a period of time issues, episodic issues that we go through. And then there are life issues. And why do we call them life issues? Because they're with us for life. I believe, I have found personally, there's always going to be things. And there may always be that thing like getting angry when I hear something I don't like, that I first get angry and I wish that I didn't get angry. Or when I see someone judging me, I instantly judge them back and I wish I didn't. Whatever the issue might be for us, it may be so hardwired, it may have had so much programming that that's a life's work, just undoing layer and layer and layer of the onion. And then let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he called forth the light, and he said, let there be light. And he looked around after the first day and he said, what? It is good. He saw it all. It is good. I like to think that if we put a period right there, that would be enough religion for our whole life. To get that. Period. It is good. It may sometimes be challenging. It may be unpleasant. It may be painful and horrible in a real world sense. But in spirit, in God, all is working together for development, for evolution, for learning, for what it is. So whatever you're going through, where you think it's just not enough, you may not be seeing it. You may be like this plant. So many plant analogies of things growing. Hey, Carolyn, it's still going. So you plant those seeds and you don't see it. Why do we think that Jesus taught that way so much about planting seeds? Because it's the perfect analogy that you can't see what's happening in here. And you don't know that like a bamboo shoot, it may suddenly burst forward when you have one of those moments. So stay steady. Get encouragement. Get a big pat on the back from yourself. I asked my friend Nancy Leahy Jacklow when she was my teacher years ago, and I was feeling like that. I wasn't making progress, wasn't where I should be. This should be easier or better. And I said to her, what if I'm not doing it right? I felt like I was failing on some level. And she said, honey, you're doing it right. So that goes out to all of you that are wondering. You are doing it right. Keep going. Be part of a church, be part of a sangha, be part of something that helps you grow, and keep going. And look at this. It can be very subtle, like rediscovering an old hobby. That's fantastic. Wow. That is God coming forth. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Forgiveness for not being perfect or for blowing it sometimes. One of my friends likes to say, can I have a do-over? I meant to be more spiritual. Can I do that one over? We joke in our house. We say, takesy backsy. Can I take that back? You could say it to yourself too. Oh, I didn't handle that the way that I thought, or I'm having thoughts that I don't want to. Oh, Takesy backs. Namaste right here. Remember that from a few weeks ago when you lose yourself in meditation and you want to come back again. When you think that you haven't handled something or you're not growing enough. Namaste right here. Affirming that I am a divine child of God. Affirming that God is working in everything. So there are so many of our tools that can come back to help us. And yet sometimes it's the dark night of the soul. I had one of those earlier this year. It was not fun, and I knew I was in one. But that's why when St. John of the Cross wrote about the dark night of the soul, he wrote about it, and it was so important so that we know when we're in one, we're onto something. So when you feel that doubt, it's a sign that you're onto something. And then Chris shares that she had been stuck in one of those, I should be further along. Thanks for sharing that. And 2020 has opened my eyes to the fact that I am exactly where I need to be, and actually a better place than I would have been had things taken the turn they could have. Wow, thank you. And there you go. I'm here to learn forgiveness. It's all good, and sometimes it hurts. Me too, Marilyn. I try to see the similarities in the religions. So to our friend out there and to anyone who had that is their question, let our hearts come out to you with prayers. You're doing fine. Keep it going. Keep it going. And I am also always available for spiritual counseling on a love offering basis. If there is something deeper going on, you may want to get some help through a therapist, through a support group, through a minister. There are all sorts of things that you can do if it feels deeper like that. Also, Anita reads the daily word before you go into work to help me remember to do my best. That's great. Other people also put like little reminders on their watches or their phones or things to say once an hour, ooh, you're doing good. Give yourself an affirmation. There are those dark nights of the soul. And Anne is showing great compassion here that they are hard and they do happen. So not a failure. Keep it going. Okay, what does Unity say about interfaith marriages? Also an interesting question. So we hold a different view than some religions. So I'm aware, for instance, one of my cantor friends in the Jewish tradition was in a synagogue rather, where gay marriage is allowed, but intermarriage is not. And certainly there are others like the Mormon tradition. Even the Catholic tradition, while they've lightened up, there still is a desire that you be in the same religion. Unity does not have that same requirements or belief. And while there's a part of me that says, is a little bit horrified sometimes, I can't believe that. We should be accepting, and people from interfaith marry all the time, and that is true. And then I would add that there is something to the idea that is worthy of pausing to say, take a look before we get married or into a partnership of what the other person's spiritual beliefs and religion are. Because if we aren't looking at that at all, that can become a real difficult issue in a marriage or in a partnership. So I think for me and for Unity, it's more about having a conversation. So if I did have people come to me from two very different religions, I would talk with them about that. Have you talked about holidays that you'll celebrate? What parts of each other's faith do you want to take part in? What will you do with the children? So it's because our faith is important to us. It's not nothing to just say, oh, it doesn't really matter. If you're of different political parties, you probably want to talk about that, don't you? So we will marry people of different faiths. And I always ask about that and find out about how deep the faith runs for different people. How will the family be affected? Because like it or not, the younger you are, your family is going to make a difference. Not to say that you shouldn't get married. But if your parents are never going to get over that you married a Catholic or you married a Protestant, it happened in my family. My mom was Catholic and my dad was Baptist, and my Baptist grandparents were heartbroken, and really never got over that. And I see that it took a toll on my folks. So Unity is supportive of interfaith, and we do think it's important to align your faiths as much as you can if you're thinking about getting married. And speaking of such things, do we do those? Do we do weddings and funerals is being asked? Yes. I like to say everything that a regular church does, Unity does, but we do it our way. So we do baptize babies, young children, adults. We baptize, christen. And we also do weddings, we do funerals, we do memorial services. When you have a big enough youth program, there are churches that actually do sort of a unity confirmation, a recognition of a crossing over. We do, what do I want to say? The other ritual that I want to say, communion. Communion is done in Unity churches. It hadn't been big here in this church, so I hadn't done it yet, and then with COVID for obvious reasons. But there's no reason that like on a Thanksgiving Eve, or some churches do it once a quarter, if it's important to the members to have the symbolism of the ritual. We will do that. We do Christmas the way that everybody does Christmas with Advent and carols. So yes, pretty much anything you can think of from another church, we do it also. And we make it as inclusive as we can. So many people will say when they've been to a Unity memorial or a funeral that it was, one of the most beautiful that they'd ever seen. They, instead of who's going to hell, it's about blessing the life, celebration of life, things like that. So we try to do all of those things. Baptism is not about erasing sin. It is about welcoming the beautiful life that has come to be. So those are some of the differences you'll see. And yeah, you will see that. Okay. Couple of questions here, very understandable. When will the church be opened and when will classes be at church? And then here's a related one from someone. Can we have an outdoor Sunday service in the church's backyard? Like Ravinia. I like that. Ravinia is going to do summer with assigned circles on the lawn in the grass. Will the silent meditation on Tuesday nights be back on Zoom this fall or earlier? Okay, so all of the questions about reopening. We are in the planning stages. And things are obviously speeding up really fast. Things are opening up. I admit, since my vaccine, I am feeling much more secure and safe going about my life. And so we are continuing to look at what is safe for the area. And as the numbers are coming down, and it looks like they really are, this changes week to week. So safety has always been our priority, absolute safety and inclusion. So now that we are online and we have folks that aren't ready to come back, maybe they will be soon. And now that we've opened up to a live service to everybody, we don't want to shut that down. So we need to be able to balance both. And that's been a challenge, folks. It has not been easy. And we're working on it. Teddy has been working on it. Don has worked on it. It's going to happen. So we've been making sure that we can get the live experience in church and the live experience online at the same time. That, again, it may sound easy, but it is a big leap. So we're getting ready for the big leap. Everything is working together here. And as soon as we can, we are, and I don't know, we have a board meeting this month that we will be talking about it again. Last month, the numbers were through the roof. So we said, just keep preparing, but we don't have a date. So we will be talking again this month. So hold that in prayer. And the answer is, it has already started. So May 15th, mark your calendar. For all of you out there that are like chomping at the bit, we need to see you May 15th. That's going to tell us how much everybody's ready to come back. So on May 15th, From 10 to noon, we're going to be cleaning up. If you can make it, great. Help us clean up. And then from noon on, we're having a party. We're having a picnic. We're meeting outside. We're going to see each other. Bring your chair, just like Ravinia. Bring your picnic, just like Ravinia. Wear your mask, and we will distance as best we can. So the big experiment starts May 15th. Will you be there? I sure hope so, because we need everybody's help. We need everybody's help in making this happen. So come on over to the church May 15th. Did I mention it's May 15th? If you're physically able to do a little bit of work, maybe some dusting, maybe some lifting, not a lot. You don't have to come right at 10, but you could come for a period. And then at noon, even if you haven't helped with the cleanup, come and party. So based on that, we're going to get a sense of, can we do an outside service without needing microphones before we're ready to do it inside? What kind of camera angles are we going to have? Can we even do a service outside with the camera, with the lighting and the sound and make it work? We don't know. So we have some experimenting to do in the next few months. And again, the reason is we're trying to balance that we want to honor the people who need to stay online for a period and the people that want to come back at the same time. So right now, we're able to broadcast to everybody except 5 people who don't have a computer. Okay? When we come back in, there will be a larger number of people who can't come in yet, and we don't want to shut them off. So please be patient with us. Please understand that there is some real spiritual consideration going here, and that there's no one right answer. We could open up instantly and not be ready for the technology. We could wait too long and then people just feel like they aren't going to be able to come back. But do your best to hang in with us online, and classes will eventually go back into person, in person also. I don't know if I'll be able to do hybrid classes as well in the question about that. So until the board approves, so for this month, online classes, and we will be back in the building for classes eventually. Hopefully summer. I even hate to say a time. I'm assuming / hoping summer with the way things are opening up and how many of us are getting vaccinated. So it's coming. And once again, if you'd like to be part of that and help us out by volunteering for the technology team, that's going to go a long way to helping us open up sooner. So we're doing what we can, and part of the answer is up to you. Part of the answer is up to you. So we look forward to seeing how many folks email Betsy this week and say, okay, I heard that we could open, but you need some help from us. Put me down for whatever it is I can do. That's going to tell us a lot about how much we're ready to open. And then finally, one more question that I got online. Why do bad things happen to good people? Just kidding. But I bet you're probably not totally. So being jobless, dealing with COVID conditions have eroded my emotional well-being. It's difficult to say one single positive thing about myself at all. Oh, my heart goes out to you. What's the best way to set up a regular routine of affirmations and meditations, and/or what resources would you recommend? How do I turn this around? Thanks. P.S. No, really, thank you. Oh. Thank you for being vulnerable and open and honest with the question. It can be really hard to do that. You know, when I get down, depressed, go through a tough time, dark night of the soul, I just want to curl up and not reach out. So the fact that you reached out and wrote an email, man, thank you. Pat yourself on the back. I mean, that alone is a spark of God moving you forward. So if you can take that in for now, take in from me that there is still light and still hope when you don't see it. And it's totally understandable that you don't see it and you don't feel it. There are times like that. And with the job loss and all of the challenges from COVID, and I know that this message goes out to more than this person. So know that you aren't alone, that people are probably saying, God, I felt that way, or I have friends that are going through this, or I had this period 5 years ago. That dark night of the soul. I mean, we've already had 2 people, say that they're not able to think some positive things about themselves. And I met a woman on vacation who was feeling this way also. And she said to me, I'm just bad. How could anybody love me? I'm just bad. And so that's not true. Whatever it is, whatever that message is, and maybe it came from a parent or a teacher or just the world, like, oh, you aren't succeeding, you don't have this big house, and you don't have a job right now. Gosh, it must be you. So wherever that's coming from, sometimes I like to get strong with that and just say, no, stop. That's not truth. I listen in on Sunday and I know what truth is. I know truth is that I'm divine. I know truth is that God is within me. I know truth is that life sometimes is hard, but I'm bad. I'm worthless. No. So just say no to that. Resources, Unity, many other places, but Unity. Dive into unity.org. That website is chock full of guided meditations, affirmations, free booklets. Subscribe to the Daily Word. Get it on your phone. It's $7. If you can't afford that, let me know. I will buy you personally a subscription to the Daily Word and read a word every day. There it is right there. Make the Daily Word your focus. Just that, just one word a day. And you just focus on that to the best of your ability. And then let that be enough. Whatever it is that you can work up the energy to do, it is enough, my friend. So let go of those feelings. I absolve you of I should be doing more or better, or I'm not a good person, or I'm failing. I'll be traditional now. Let me go old school with you. You are healed from that. And I bless and absolve you of all those thoughts. You can just let them go. They don't serve you any flipping purpose right now. Gone. There's nothing to fix. There's just someone to love. There's nothing to fix. There's just someone to love. So I love you. I love all of you. I love you. Let that help for you to love you. I'm not crazy. So if I love you, there's something good going on here. Meditation and affirmations definitely can help. And find your way. Maybe it's watching uplifting videos or funny videos. I don't know. Blooper videos. I'm not trying to minimize the suffering here. Blooper videos can instantly make me laugh. And if that laugh is there, that's the truth that I want to hold on to. That there is an overcoming. I walked my dog twice a day when I went through losing a job, and it proved helpful and it got me out of the house. Oh, thank you, Jean. Thank you, Jean. Set up a time with a friend to get out. I used to feel like a failure and seeing my cousins had it all. However, I learned that they don't manage their money, and I have a very different value system based on spirituality versus materialistically. Thank you. Thank you. There's nothing to fix, just you to love. And here you go. I mean, I'm not alone here. Goofy cat videos. It can work. So let us all now send our hearts out to this person and to all of those that are going through something similar, because there are probably thousands or hundreds of thousands of people right now feeling this way. You are not alone. And take advantage of your church, classes, texting, come on fellowship if you can. And I know sometimes that's hard to do when you feel that way. But as much as you can, take advantage of us. That's what we're here for.
Right now,
Oops, I'm trying to move myself forward to another slide.
Right now,
there we go. So keep it going. And as I close this part, I want to share the idea that all of this is fun. And God, I love doing this service. I could go on for another half hour. And what I know is that the answers truly lie within. Take what you can from the external world. I do not believe that there aren't answers out here and helpful things. There are many things that I don't know. But I do know that when I can go within and listen, there is guidance waiting. And a couple last things here for people to say, come be with us at our cleaning picnic. Invitation, you are wanted on May 15th. And Lisa's reminding us how important our spiritual community is. And it's hard to get into my head. And yes, perhaps the upbringing for some of us, it's like, don't you dare think that. So let me help you just keep reprogramming. Listen within to the truth of you, that you are awesome and you are wonderful. And my friend Janice Stanfield can say it even better.
I tune into the experts on all the TV shows. I read the books that tell me all the things that I should know. I ask my friends what they think of the things I'm going through. When no one has the answer, I know what to do. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The other voices tell me that I'm not good enough to win the peace of mind they say that I'm not worthy of. And though they shout so loudly, sometimes I can hardly bear. I know where to turn to find the source of my strength. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The whisper holds the answer, it's up to me to ask. I wonder why so often the thing that I do last. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper. Oh, I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear.
Grateful to Janice Stanfield for her beautiful song. And who, you can't plan this stuff. That was exactly the message we needed to hear after the questions we had today. I love how Spirit works. Listen to the whisper inside, not those other voices. And now that we've celebrated and had a chance to come together as a community, let's come together in support of Unity Northwest Church with our love offerings. In all the ways that we give, those of you who've set up online banking, a special thank you. You can donate up above by clicking the button, send a check in. In all the ways that we give, let's bless this now. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and so it is. And let me welcome now Teddy to the stream. Hello, Teddy. Great to see you.
And good morning. I just wanted to let people know that they can call in on our chaplain prayer line and leave a message, and we would be happy to pray for your intention. So I just wanted to let you know it's 847-297-0997. And we would be really happy to pray with you and for your intention. This morning, we are honoring our volunteers from the Youth and Family Team. Unity Northwest Des Plaines is very proud to honor our volunteers on this team for 2019 and 2020, and you've got the names up there on the screen. You have served our church and made us what we are today, you volunteers, you wonderful volunteers. We are grateful for your steadfast commitment to our church and your mission to serve this community and our minister, Reverend Elizabeth Mora. And now I've got a message from Carolyn, a team leader, and she says, the Youth and Family Ministry team are an amazing team of leaders within our church who commit their time and love to the family of Unity Northwest. We share Unity teachings to the children on whatever their level in hopes of growing up a new generation of positive, loving, and serving people. Anita and I grew up in Unity, and although we are not perfect, what a difference it has made in our lives. We didn't have to unlearn so many things because we knew from childhood that we were made in the image and likeness of a loving, living God. Bless the volunteers who share the desire for our youth to grow their special knowledge and put it into action in their lives. We try our best to be role models of Unity principles. We teach through stories, discussion, craft, and play, but never lecturing. We have studied, been to many trainings and meetings to learn child development and learning styles. We have celebrated 100 holidays, comforted many crying young ones, cleaned up endless messes, accompanied the teens on retreats, learned to Zoom lesson, and always holding our families in our hearts. I know no finer group than these dear people who I am very proud to call my friends. Thank you, from Miss Carolyn. Okay, so now let's read off those wonderful volunteers. We've got Jean Boston, Don Den Grimond, Sasha Frederick, Dana Fischke, Angela Reinhofer, Max Steinmeier, Mark Boston, hi Mark, Julia Kaur, Peggy Benoit, Gemma Nissen, Kelby Puchnik, and Anita Streemeyer. Thank you so much for what you are doing, and God's blessings on you. Back to you, Reverend Elizabeth.
Thank you, Teddy. It was great to have you with us. Thank you for taking care of this program. And let's take a look. I wanted to show you, here's what the youth team looks like, and they do an amazing job. And I love that Carolyn let you know that, this isn't I hate to say this, but just babysitting. It's not just babysitting. These folks have trained, they go to regional meetings, and you can see the love in their face. These teachers love what they do. And I know how excited they are to get back into the church, and I know the kids are too. So we're looking forward to it. Those kid photos, they get me every time. All right, so let's welcome back Chris. Thanks, Chris. Take it away and tell us about what's going on this week.
All right. Well, could you be a highly sensitive person? Join this Zoom class on Wednesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. and find out. Reverend Elizabeth Morris shares about her journey as an HSP and how you can embrace it and turn it into a blessing. All are welcome. Now, are you looking for a way to serve our Unity community? Join our brand new tech team. We're looking for people to form a technology team so we can broadcast Sunday services to Facebook when we come back to the building. We can't do it without you. So before you think, I can't be a part of the team, I don't know how to do that, just consider the fact that none of us knew how to do this before all this started. So we're all learning together. And really, it's, if I can learn how to do the sound system years ago, anyone can do this stuff. But by joining this critical team, you'll gain skills that will keep the church relevant and alive. We'll provide you with all the training that you need to be able to run sound or video. And these are marketable skills that you can put on a resume. Or you could be the next big blogger on YouTube. Step up and help the Unity Northwest keep with the changing world. Contact the office to find out more about being a member of this important team. Now, have you got something to share? Perhaps a topic that you're passionate about? Well, here's your chance. Unity Northwest is looking for people who like to offer a 1-hour class on a spiritual subject that would interest our members. Reverend Elizabeth will support you in setting up Zoom, so please call or email Reverend Elizabeth right away. And something new's happened. Martha Creek, who's a renowned figure in the Unity movement, has interviewed our own Reverend Elizabeth. The interview has been recorded and is available on our YouTube page. And remember to stay in touch with us. From texting to weekly emails to monthly newsletters, we keep you informed. And if you haven't signed up for our communications, please contact the church office. And also, if you're missing our weekly e-blasts, check your spam folder. They're sent out 10 a.m. on Fridays, so check and make sure that you see one each week so you can stay informed.
Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
We will see you next week or the week. Yes, we'll see you next week. Thanks for being with us always.
Yeah.
And a couple of last announcements to let everybody know about. Next week, Mother's Day, we are going to be celebrating the women of Unity. And perhaps you see some familiar faces up there from the Unity world that you know about and the Unity world behind the scenes that you may not be as aware of. And I also want to give a shout out. I want to share a couple of these comments from folks about the youth program. So for all of our teachers, and I know many of them are online today, feel the love coming from folks, even if they don't have children in the program, and especially those that do. So Tanya's shouting out here. Oh, that's me letting you know. Yes, sorry, little confusion. I got the time wrong. So on the 15th, we make that announcement. Cleanup day starting at 9 o'clock on Saturday the 15th. So if you have some gloves, bring those. That'll help. We have lots of tools and things, and we'll probably be working mostly outside because the church is so clean because we haven't been in it. But there's always something to do. More hands, make lighter work. And again, you do not have to come from 9 to 12, but if you can, that's great. And if you've got some muscles and an okay back, you can help us move the furniture out. So hope you can join us for that. So a thanks to the youth team. This program has such a strong curriculum and strong, caring, prepared teachers and leaders. They care so much. And Chris, wish I had something like that when I was growing up. It's been a blessing to our children and our teams. And remember that we have a prayer chaplain line. There we go. Thank you, Teddy. And we always have Silent Unity as well. Those of you that are members get a call every month from your prayer chaplain. If you'd like prayer any other time, call the office, let Betsy know. And as soon as we can get someone to call you back, either me or a prayer chaplain. So prayer is available for you all the time and 24/7 live from Silent Unity. So thank you for being here with us this week. We look forward to seeing you next week. I look forward to seeing you in a few minutes over on Fellowship to check in with you. And this week, may you listen to the whisper as we listen to our own Tatiana take us out while I share the rest of the messages from folks behind the beautiful music of Tatiana. Take it away.
Happy Sunday and happy week.
Happy
Let's love.
Just love. That's all we need. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Chris.
Mhm.
We'll see you next week. God bless.
See y'all.